Hi friends, welcome to a guide on the second Abyssal dungeon if you're on EUNA, or Void Dungeon if you're on the RU version. This is Necromancer's origin, and I'm going to give you the full guide and breakdown to clear it easy. Now you may have noticed we're all stood in these specific positions, and this is for a mechanic that happens on the last boss, and I'll explain that a little bit later, but just get yourselves at the start of the raid into these positions so you know where to go once that mechanic happens. So like the first video I've done on the previous Abyssal dungeon, I will be doing a guide for every single dungeon going forward so that you know what to do if you need a guide or if you get stuck. But again, there's nothing terribly too complicated about these ones, but let's get straight into the first boss. First thing you'll notice on this video is, for us, one of the first attacks the boss did was counterable. So bear in mind that if the boss glows blue and you attack head on, use your counter ability to counter him. And once you've done a little bit of damage to this boss, he'll do this roar. This roar gives everyone a debuff and starts the main mechanic for this fight. As you can see above my mana, I have this debuff, and also above all of our heads is this red orb. Over time, you gain more of these red orbs, and once they build up to 5, it's a wipe. How you get rid of this is to go to this golden orb that spawns randomly on the map. You press G, and then for yourself, it will reset the debuff and then start again briefly. So to stop the wipe, everybody has to get the orb in the right order. So we start off with whoever's party number 1 picks up the orb first, then player number 2, then player number 3, then player number 4. Remember to watch the minimap for it to spawn, go and grab it to reset your orbs, and then you simply reset your cycle to stop the wipe. His other attacks are reasonably simple. There's no other mechanics you need to know. It's just if you don't know that main one, then it can be quite tricky. Otherwise, you see that tail swipe he's just done and this big AoE here. Just stand in the right place, you'll be absolutely fine. Look out for the counters and burst him down. After this, it's just a simple bit of mobbing, so keep pushing through until you reach the last boss. So this boss has a few mechanics that you want to know about. There's one main one, which is where we picked those positions earlier, so I'll bring that back up in a moment. But this is one here where the safe spot, he does a big AoE, safe spots by his feet, or depending on his and your position, you'll be able to escape it near the outside of the map. But it's not a wipe, it just does a good bit of damage. Another minor attack he does is these red orbs coming out here. He'll slam down and then these red orbs come by, so avoid them. Also the red puddles on the floor, you want to avoid them as well. They'll do damage over time. And then this is one of his bigger attacks. Again, the safe spot for this one is a little bit bigger and by his feet, but what he'll actually do, if you look at the minimap, he'll teleport somewhere onto the map and then start spawning this AoE. If you don't look at the minimap, you can trace back the red danger zone as it waves out back to his position. Then just get safe and carry on DPSing. Another one to look out for is this slow charging AoE, mainly for your close range melee characters, and then he also summons these orbs down from the top that then explode out. One of the main mechanics is this impairment check. You'll notice a little bar by his feet. In the EU and NA version, this is called stagger, so I guess it's actually called a stagger check, but you want to go over your skills, find out which ones do stagger, and the higher amount of stagger the better, i.e. stagger 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use them at the point he does the stagger check. An item you can use here is called the whirlwind grenade. This is actually a very good item for stagger checks, so you can use this if you find that you're failing the check a lot. Okay, so time for the main mechanic. When you get his health bar to nearly 0, he will become invincible and start doing what looks like channeling. And then you see on the minimap, there are these little red dots. And remember at the start of the raid when we all chose the positions, this is where it comes into play. So everybody needs to go to their position and pick up either the white orb or the red orb. To know what color to get, when the boss goes invincible, the whole ground will glow a certain color. Here you can see that it's red, so everybody needs to go and get the red orb. However, obviously, if the ground is glowing white, then you need to get the white orb. Then after you've done the first orb phase, you need to DPS down the boss again, and then do it again. And after you've done this successfully a few times, you'll kill the boss, and then he'll actually die for real. If you get the wrong color orb, the boss will respawn with more health. So if everybody's not organized, then the fight takes longer, and the longer the fight goes, the more risk you have of him enraging. So once you know what you're looking out for, it's fine. In the fight that we had here, we had 3 red orbs in a row, but it's completely random for which color you need to get. Just make sure you get it right, and then you'll see here, once you've all got the orbs correctly 3 times in a row, he just dies. Alright, so that's it guys. Remember, you can catch me live at twitch.tv/BenleyGamingTV. If you like the video, give it a like and consider subscribing. If not, I'll catch you in the next guide. And don't forget as well, we got the Discord down below with over 1,400 members now. So if you fancy joining that, it's full focus Lost Ark. And until the next guide, guys, hope you've at least learned something. And I also hope you have a very nice day. See you now.